They've had to wait over a year to have another chance to slay their demons, but we are finally here. The Midwest region, 1 seed Purdue has a chance to knock off a 16 seed, something they couldn't do last year. But if they want to get farther than that, they're going to have some pretty tough tests in their way. Teams like Creighton, Tennessee, Kansas, Gonzaga, and some worthy challengers that are underdogs like McNeese, Samford, TCU, Colorado State. It's not going to be an easy test for the Boilermakers to come out of this Midwest region, but I'm going to give you my picks on who I think will. I'm your host, DaRock, and welcome to Layup Lines, the Bandwagon Sports College Basketball Betting Show, and I'm here with my Midwest region best bets. So, in a sake of time, if you've watched kind of the other region predictions, I had graphics with these, spreads and lines, but so I'm not up to 2 a.m. again and falling asleep watching these games here on Thursday. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to read it off to you. So the first game on Friday, the 1 seed Purdue, like I said, 25.5 point favorites against Grambling State, who won the play-in game here on Wednesday night. The over/under is 139.5, and to be honest, that's probably my best play. I don't really know if there's anyone on Grambling that can guard Zach Edey, but when the line's that steep, and just with Purdue, I'm still a little scared. I'm going to play that, so I'm going to go with the over 139.5. Then the 8-9. Also, these games are in Indianapolis. I didn't mention that on Friday. Utah State and TCU. TCU, the 9 seed, is actually a 4.5 point favorite. They're led by the backcourt of Micah Perry and Jameer Nelson Jr., and then as well as forward Emmanuel Miller. While Utah State, they're led by great Asabor and Darius Brown. But TCU, I just think they're kind of the better team in this situation, despite being the 9 seed. I mean, they're 4.5 point favorites. I'm going to ride that 4.5. I'm going to go with the Horned Frogs to get the victory in this one. Then, moving on. This is probably my favorite region, little kind of quadrant of 4. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's Thursday night in Salt Lake City. It's the late one. First, we're going with Gonzaga. 6.5 point favorites against McNeese State. Over/under 145.5. In my brackets, I've picked McNeese to win outright, so I'm definitely going to pick them to cover that 6.5. While Gonzaga, they are loaded with guys like Ryan Nemhard and Graham Ike. I really like Shahada Wells, great guard for McNeese, as well as Christian Shoemate. McNeese is also, they're a deep team. They like to press. I think they could give Gonzaga some issues. It's kind of a down year for the Bulldogs, even though they've kind of turned around. I'm going to go with the Cowboys, led by Will Wade, to knock off Gonzaga. And then the 13 seed, Samford plays 4 seed Kansas. Kansas 7.5 point favorite. With a total of 153.5. And this is another one. I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with Samford to cover that 7.5, and I'm going to sprinkle on them to win outright. I think they can. Chora has been a forward that I've loved watching for the Bulldogs all year. The Bulldogs are also a very deep team. They play 8, 9, 10 guys. Kansas right now, they're the exact opposite. They're banged up. Kevin McCullar's out for the whole tournament. He's one of their best players, if not their best player. Hunter Dickinson's coming back from his shoulder injury. Kansas is not deep at all. I think Samford can kind of outlast Kansas. They're led by Bill Self. They're a great team. They always perform well in March, but I think this is a down year for them, and I think Jayhawk fans are going to get put out of their misery early here. I like Samford and McNeese to both pull upsets here in Salt Lake City Thursday night. Then also on Thursday in Pittsburgh, South Carolina and Oregon. Oregon's actually 1.5 point favorite. South Carolina, or the total in that one is 133.5. Nafali Dante is leading the way for the Ducks. Ducks are finally getting healthy, kind of peaking here at the right time. They won the Pac-12 tournament to get in the dance. Dana Altman, every time he's been in the tournament with Oregon, they've won at least one game. But South Carolina, their team, they've had some good wins this year. They've knocked off Tennessee. They're led by guard Michi Johnson. I'm kind of 50-50 on who I think is going to win this one, but I'm kind of leaning here. I'm leaning riding South Carolina. They were originally the favorite. It's gotten bet so much that now Oregon's the favorite. I'm going to kind of fade the public in this one. I'm going to go with the Gamecocks to win, and I'll probably take them the plus 1.5. Plus 1.5 for sure. I think they're going to win as well. Then the other game in that region, Creighton, they're 12.5 point favorites against Akron. I think they can cover that. Creighton's a team I think is going to go deep in the tournament, led by Baylor Shireman and Ryan Cockbrenner. Sorry, I'm blanking there on his name. Their team, I really like how they match up. I think they can score the ball. I like that 12.5. I think they cover that easily. Then the final one, also on Thursday. Sorry, those 2 games I just mentioned there in Pittsburgh. These final 2 on Thursday are in Charlotte. Tennessee is a 21.5 point favorite against St. Peter's. Total in that one's 129.5. I would like the over because it's, SEC team, but actually I am just going to go with Tennessee to cover that 21.5. I like the Volunteers. They're another team that can go deep. Dalton Connect. Sky Ziegler's healthy this year. Santiago Vescovi's back. Joseph Adu's a really solid big for them. And also, I was kind of looking through St. Peter's schedule. They've lost by double digits to teams like Duquesne, and then Seton Hall and Rutgers, who missed the tournament. So they've lost by double digits to kind of bad teams. I think Tennessee can beat them by 20 for sure. And then the final game in this region, Texas, 2.5-point favorite against Colorado State. Total in that one's 144.5. This is going to be one where it's a really good guard matchup. Isaiah Stevens leads the way for Colorado State and the Rams. Max Asmus leads the way for the Longhorns. And I just kind of think the Longhorns are a better team. I don't know if they have what it takes to win multiple games in March, but I think, Asmus, Dylan DeSue, they have a couple names that I think could lead them. Rodney Terry is a solid coach. Led the Longhorns to the Elite Eight last year before they fell to Miami. So I'm going to go with the Texas Longhorns to win that one. And then here now, let's look at these odds to win the region to close this out. So Purdue's obviously the favorite at plus 120. Then Tennessee's plus 400. Creighton's plus 450. And that's my pick. Like I said, I like the Blue Jays. I think, they can take and make the three. They play good defense. They're probably the most well-rounded team. I think they could match up well against Zach Edey and the Boilermakers, knock them off in the Elite Eight. So that's going to be my pick. And then, I mean, there's really not like another team that I like. I mean, like I said, I picked both Kansas and Gonzaga to lose. I have had a couple brags where, I think if Gonzaga maybe does win this game, they could go far, make an Elite Eight run. So maybe you sprinkle on them at plus 1,400. But yeah, like I said, South Carolina, Texas, I really don't think they're good enough. They're both plus 2,800 to win. And I don't like either of those 8 or 9 seeds. So that's going to wrap it up here for the Midwest region. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out all the other region previews if you have not already. They're all out now here Thursday morning as you're watching this. Also dropping here this morning, or maybe, it's already out when you're watching it, premiering. Boomer Bust, full bracket breakdown. Me and Matt went through the whole bracket. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, make sure to check that out. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to subscribe down below. We're making videos all March. So hopefully see you guys again. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Peace.